Le'Veon Bell has been a mess the past 2 seasons. After holding out for a new contract in 2018, Bell signed with the New York Jets in 2019. In 2019, Bell played in 15 games, rushed for 789 yards, 3 touchdowns, averaged 3.2 yards per carry, and also caught 66 passes for 461 yards. This season, Le'Veon Bell pulled his hamstring in Week 1. He came back in Week 5 and then was surprisingly released by the Jets after they couldn't find a trade partner for Bell. So after these 2 years of unproductive play, the question needs to be asked: is Le'Veon Bell, former All-Pro running back, done in the NFL? In this video, I want to look at some of Le'Veon Bell's Jets film and really see if he's a washed-up version of what we saw in Pittsburgh or if he's the same guy that we're used to. On the first play I want to show you, Le'Veon Bell's just going to take the handoff up the middle, do a nice little jump cut, see the hole, and explode through it. I mean, that's just kind of vintage Le'Veon Bell. That's what he's done, pretty much with the Jets and with Pittsburgh. He would stop behind the line of scrimmage, even more dramatically at times, and just find a hole. Now, this play is from Le'Veon Bell's last season with the Steelers in 2017. Look at the jump cut he makes. He stops behind the line of scrimmage, does a little jump cut, explodes through the hole, makes a guy miss at the second level, and dives into the end zone. That looks pretty similar to the Jets play that I just showed you. Here's another play. Le'Veon Bell's going to take the pitch right, follow his blockers, hit the hole hard, and carry defenders with him. I mean, that looked no different from back in his Steelers days. This play here is back when Le'Veon Bell was on the Steelers in 2017. It's not necessarily a pitch, but it's a little handoff to the right, and you have a pulling guard and tackle. Similar to the Jets play I just showed you, Le'Veon Bell's going to take the ball right, follow his blockers, and the only difference really between the two plays is how patient he is when he gets to the second level. Bell really sits down, he slows down and finds the hole and can make the guy miss. Where with the Jets, I just don't think he felt like he had enough time to do that, so he just hits the hole really hard. Here's a play from 2019. Le'Veon Bell tries going up the middle, sees that nothing's there, so he bounces it outside. And what does he do? Cuts it upfield, breaks the tackle, and keeps going and pushes the pile forward. Drags defenders with him. The one thing that does seem to be different between his Jets film and Pittsburgh Steelers film is the fact that he doesn't do his signature stop. He would literally pause behind the line of scrimmage, wait for a hole to open, like do a little bounce, and then accelerate through the hole. And you don't really see that very much in his Jets film. I don't know if that's a lack of his ability to still do it or a lack of the Jets, offensive line being talented enough to, block long enough or, keep him protected long enough for him to find the hole and then hit it. Like he could in Pittsburgh, who had, one of the best offensive lines for, years. And here's what I'm talking about with the Le'Veon Bell pause. I mean, of course, there's 1,000 examples when he was on the Steelers, but look when he gets to the hole, or lack of a hole. He literally gets there, he stops in place. He stops, he hops, and then he hits the hole he decides to hit. He decides to bounce it outside, cut back against the grain, and, gets positive yards. Here's a great example that shows off what Le'Veon Bell can still do after he gets past the line of scrimmage. I mean, he still makes guys miss here. Average running backs get 8 yards and then tackled by the safety or the linebacker. It's 3rd and 14, so they're kind of trying to, allow him to run and come up and make the tackle. But Le'Veon Bell, he makes 2 dudes miss. You still can't arm tackle Le'Veon Bell. You can't do it. His balance, his short area quickness is still all there. Now I just want to show you a few plays where Le'Veon Bell has no opportunity to even do anything because he's getting blown up in the backfield. I mean, you see right here, the defensive lineman gets right through the center. Le'Veon Bell gives him a stiff arm and bounces off the tackle. But if that defensive lineman was blocked, Le'Veon Bell has the opportunity to get outside without stumbling, without losing balance, without slowing down, and he only has to beat number 40 outside. And from the angle that number 40 is coming at, I think Bell's going to be able to get the outside, and we've seen him make plenty of moves, in the open field to get past somebody. Why can't that be a big play? Oh, because the Jets allow someone just to get right into the backfield. Here's just another play. It's 4th and 1, and Le'Veon Bell just gets hung out to dry. There's nothing he can do on this play. It's just poor blocking in so many different places. I just can't believe that Le'Veon Bell can't get blocking to just convert a 4th and 1. All right, let's break down this 4th and 1. For starters, number 96 is going to get outside containment. So basically, he's going to limit Le'Veon Bell from bouncing this play outside. Because if you look, there's a huge hole right there if the blocker can just get 96 straight up or force him inside. Le'Veon Bell might have a walk-in touchdown if he could beat that safety. But okay, sure, let's let 96 break the outside containment. So there's a hole up the middle for Le'Veon Bell. Or there was supposed to be, until their tight end that's playing fullback for some reason, who just messed up their 3rd and 1 by running straight into their back of the center, misses the block. So this allows the defender to get right past the blocker and tackle Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. So that stops Le'Veon Bell's momentum just enough to allow, other tacklers to come in, and it didn't allow Le'Veon Bell to even make a move. He tried bouncing it outside. You can see by the angle of his feet, or at least he tried to look that way. But no, he gets stood up in the backfield by someone missing an outside containment, sealing the outside, and then missed another block right up the middle that didn't allow Bell to go anywhere. And here's a receiving play from Le'Veon Bell. This is week 1 before he pulled his hamstring. Bell is out left in the slot. He's going to fake like he's just going out to the flat, but he cuts it up and beats the linebacker easy on this play. And Sam Darnold actually throws a pretty nice pass to fit it right between the linebacker and the corner and safety. There's actually 3 of them there. So great catch by Le'Veon Bell. So my final verdict on Le'Veon Bell as a player is I think he's still talented. I still think he's kind of the same player he was in Pittsburgh. I think he might have benefited a little bit from having a great offensive line like any other, NFL back would have. But the difference between Pittsburgh and the Jets is really, I just think the offensive line and the offensive philosophy. I mean, Le'Veon Bell was used so much in the offense in Pittsburgh. Design plays left and right. Big Ben scrambling around, just dumping it off and letting Le'Veon Bell get in space and letting him trusting him, to beat a linebacker, to beat a corner, to get the first down on a little dump off pass. To where, sure, Sam Darnold and the Jets, they give him dump off passes, but they're not the same. They're not the same when they're just, 3 yards out in front of you in the middle of the field when there's just linebackers right on you when you have no chance to actually make, any moves after the catch. It's a different scenario, and I don't think Le'Veon Bell was put in the best situation. This isn't the team for him. And frankly, I don't think it's a situation for any good running back right now. I just think the Jets are bad. The Jets are in a total meltdown. Sam Darnold, who knows if he's even going to be there next year. Adam Gase, if he makes it through the season, then the Jets should just disband as a team. Adam Gase is probably the worst head coach in the entire NFL by far. Him or Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien's not even in the NFL anymore. So Adam Gase just has to go. I just think Le'Veon Bell, to me, is still the same player. He hasn't been doing his signature hop or stop in the backfield that we're so accustomed to seeing because I just don't think he trusts the Jets, offensive line to do it. We need him on a true offense. And rumors are that he might go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think that's a reality just because, not that Andy Reid wouldn't want that, especially if they can get him for pretty cheap, but I don't think Le'Veon Bell is going to want to come and play behind the first-round rookie Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's been having a pretty good year so far. I just don't see that as a realistic place. My favorite spot for Le'Veon Bell to go to would be the New England Patriots by far. I mean, I think really it makes the most sense, and not even just saying that because it's the Patriots, but they have no running back at the moment. James White is just a pure third down back. Sony Michel, personally, I think he's a very bad NFL running back. I think he's just a plotter. He just runs into the pile and just gets nothing. He has no acceleration, no speed, nothing. I think Sony Michel is off the Patriots next year. Damian Harris, I mean, who knows if he's any good. He couldn't crack the roster last year, and this year I think they're finally just giving him a try. And Rex Burkhead, he came in this year and scored 3 touchdowns. Of course, I played him in fantasy that week, but he scored 3 touchdowns, and then what did they do? Bill said, okay, get back to the bench, kid. So I just don't think they have a running back on their roster that they really want, that they really, really, want to play. So Le'Veon Bell can step in, and Bill Belichick, we all know that he's a genius. We all know that he can find a way to make Le'Veon Bell a great NFL fantasy back. It's not like Bill Belichick hasn't tried to bring in, washed up talent or, players that their teams have given up on them. We've had Antonio Brown when the Raiders just gave up on him for being crazy, which makes sense. Josh Gordon. I mean, Bill Belichick brought in Josh Gordon after he failed multiple drug tests with the Browns. They traded for him. Bill Belichick traded for Mohamed Sanu when he probably shouldn't have because he was off the roster the very next year. And Cam Newton. Cam Newton was, pretty much given up on by the Carolina Panthers. He had shoulder surgery and the Panthers said, we'll sign Teddy Bridgewater and Cam, it's been fun, but you're on your way. Bill Belichick signed him and look at this Patriots offense now. And two other teams that I really think he could possibly go to. One would be the Chicago Bears because I don't think David Montgomery is a very good running back. And they just lost Tariq Cohen to a torn ACL, so who knows if he's ready for next year. And Le'Veon Bell is just still really good. So I can see the Chicago Bears really making that move. And another team would be kind of a lot. I don't know if I have really necessarily a third team, but Jacksonville. James Robinson's playing pretty well so far, but I don't know if they really want him to be the feature back. The LA Rams, that's just something that I think I would like a lot. I mean, the LA Rams, they have, 3 guys that they're using in a platoon and no one's really emerging as the one. So maybe Le'Veon Bell steps in and just becomes the one. The Miami Dolphins, Jordan Howard's not even playing. Matt Breida's constantly injured and Myles Gaskins is the starter. Not that Myles Gaskins is super bad or anything, but is he anything special? I just don't really think so. And just one that you had to throw out there, Tom Brady trying to make one more championship run. Ronald Jones, I don't know if he's the greatest back in the world. I think Leonard Fournette's pretty bad. Maybe Tom Brady convinces Le'Veon Bell to come down to Miami, Tampa Bay, not Miami, and, try to chase a Super Bowl with them. All right, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope wherever Le'Veon Bell goes, he gets a chance to, really prove himself. Even if it's just a 1 year, low money, prove it deal. I hope Le'Veon Bell gets the shot to prove that he's still a pretty good player because I really do think he is. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a like below and subscribe to the channel. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.